Hello, dear students. This is Dr. Govind Sarswat, Assistant Professor in English from Government College, Degana. Dear students, in this lecture, we will discuss or analyze William Cowper's poem entitled Light Shining Out of Darkness. It is a lyric poem and a hymn centering on God as mysterious but benevolent. William Cowper wrote this poem in 1773 and it was first published in 1774 as a hymn in a book by his pastor John Newton entitled 26 Letters on Religious Subjects, to which are added hymns. It was republished in 1779 in Olney Hymns, a book on which Cooper collaborated with न्यूटन. सो दिस पोएम, ये जो पोएम है लाइट शाइनिंग आउट ऑफ डार्कनेस, ये एक लिरिक है जो कि गॉड के ऊपर बेस्ड है कि गॉड मिस्टीरियस भी है, रहस्य बरकरार है उनके ऊपर, लेकिन साथ साथ में गॉड जो है वो दयालु भी है। कूपर ने ये पोएम 1773 में लिखी थी और सबसे पहले इसने इसे 1774 में पब्लिश की थी, जो कि उसके एक दोस्त है जॉन न्यूटन, उसने एक बुक पब्लिश की थी जिसका नाम था 26 लेटर्स ऑन रिलीजियस सब्जेक्ट्स टू विच आर एडेड हिम्स। और न्यूटन ने इस पोएम को वापस रीपब्लिश किया था 1779 में इन ओनले हिम्स के अंदर। सो दिस poem expresses William Cooper's belief in God and his perception of God, कि वो गॉड जो है वो मतलब उनके बारे में हम क्या सोचते हैं, वो कैसे हैं और किस तरह से उनके जो भी बून्स हैं, उनकी जो ब्लेसिंग है, उनका जो भी एंगर है, हमें उनको उसको कैसे परसीव करना चाहिए, एंड दैट वी शुड बिलीव इन द वेज ऑफ गॉड। In the first stanza, William Cooper says, God moves in a mysterious way, his wonders to perform. He plants his footsteps in the sea and rides upon the storm. From the very beginning, William Cooper proves that God is mysterious, and the ways in which he performs his action, the way he uh, offers his blessings, and what are the steps of God, we are unable to fathom. They are, he performs his ways in a very mysterious way. He plants his footsteps in the sea and rides upon the storm. He says that we cannot understand what what God can do and what are his strengths. God can stand in the sea, he can ride upon the storm, but how can he do this is beyond human perception, is beyond human imagination. There are ways in which he works, and human beings can only wonder at his or towards his ways, the ways in which he performs his actions. He plants his footsteps in the sea. Nobody can stand in the sea, but he says that he can plant his footsteps. We can see the footsteps. पानी के अंदर किसी को footsteps दिख सकते हैं क्या? But even then he says God can do this. And how is it possible for him? We cannot even think. हम नहीं सोच सकते. He can ride upon the storm, deep in unfathomable minds. The second stanza begins with deep in unfathomable minds of never failing skill, he treasures of his bright designs and works his sovereign will. He can be seen working in deep mines, the depth of which cannot be even measured. His actions are done with a sure hand. He has his own plans, and like a sovereign ruler, he carries out his will. There is nothing in this world which can cause God's acts to fall or fail in their design. So, in the first two stanzas, William Cooper proves God to be very mysterious, very powerful, and the way in which he works or he acts is beyond the imagination of human beings. We cannot even perceive or we cannot even imagine how God can perform his actions. He's powerful and his power is unquestionable. If anybody is a skeptic, then he one day he will certainly feel the presence of his power or his miracles, but due to his being due to his skeptic feelings, he may not accept. But there are things which are even which can even science cannot prove, but they are there. So all these things show that there is some divine power who operates all these activities of the world. Then in the third stanza, William Cooper says, Ye fearful saints, fresh courage take. The clouds ye so much dread are big with mercy and shall break in blessing on your head. There are here William Cooper is addressing to some saints who are fearful because of the mysterious ways of God, and he requests them to have courage because God is full of mercy. And he says that the sorrows and sufferings are like dark clouds from which the merciful rain will pour down on all, all of them. So the ways in which God works is mysterious. The storms and tempest, they look horrible, but they end in peace and happiness. God is full of full of mercy. He may sometimes appear to be full of anger, and but he is benevolent. He's kind. He takes heed of all the good and true people. In the fourth stanza, he says, Judge not the Lord by feeble sense, but trust him for his grace. Behind a frowning providence, he hides his smiling face. So he says that do not try to judge God by your feeble. Feeble means kamjor. So when generally human beings try to judge God by what they see or hear, but God acts in a mysterious way, and what appears may not be true, and what is true may not be clearly visible. So we must have trust in God's mercy, and what appears terrible and painful may ultimately prove God's mercy. So God's providence is behind a frowning providence he hides a smiling face. तो आपने एक कहावत सुनी ही होगी, मतलब किस तरह से एक कुम्हार जो है वो घड़ा बनाता है, अंदर से सहारा देता है और बाहर से चोट करता है धीरे धीरे। तो गॉड के जो तरीके हैं वो कोई किसी के समझ में नहीं आते, वो उनसे समझ में से परे हैं। वो रास्ता दिखाते हैं, चलना हमें खुद को पड़ता है। वो कठोर दिखता है लेकिन फिर भी दयालु वो जरूर है। इफ़ वी डेविएट फ्रॉम आवर पाथ, अगर हम अपने पथ से भटकते हैं तो उस समय हो सकता है कि कुछ समय के लिए हमें गॉड की एंगर का सामना करना पड़े, बट when we follow the right path we face the डिफ़िकल्टीज फेस करते करते हम प्योरीफाई होते हैं और फिर गॉड की ब्लेसिंग का हमें जो है वो फील होता है उनकी ब्लेसिंग्स को। सो ही the suggestion of William Cooper is that we human beings should not try to judge God on on the basis of something which is in front of us, but behind everything that seems very hard, that seems very painful, he he has something which is full of blessing at the end. So he hides his smiling face behind something that seems to be very terrible or horrible. His purpose will ripen fast, unfolding every hour. The bud may have a bitter taste, but sweet will be the flower. जो भी उसकी पर्पस हैं, जो उद्देश्य हैं, वो एकदम से सामने नहीं आते। उनको पकने में, जैसे फल पकने में टाइम लेता है, इन द सेम वे हिज इंटेंशंस are or they ripe at the end. The process may take time, it will take test, or it will check our passions, but every hour will unfold something new that will change our perception, and the climax will be completely different from what we have anticipated. So, the tragedy that we anticipate may end in a happy way. The bud may have a bitter taste, but sweet will be the flower. So the beginning may be bitter, but the ending, like the bud में, bud means कली, जो कि हो सकता है कि कड़वी हो, लेकिन फ्लावर की जो सुगंध है वो बहुत ही स्वीट होती है। तो in the same way, there are many things that seem to be very bitter in the very beginning, but as the time unfolds, the climax will change our perception completely and they will be very sweet. That is the way God perform his actions. Blind unbelief is sure to err and scan his work in vain. God is his own interpreter and he will make it plain. So we should not have a blind unbelief. So this is something that we human beings generally have, that is our prejudice, हमारे जो पूर्वाग्रह है वो, we should not uh, try to put a question mark uh, on the way God performs or perform his God, God God to perform various actions. We feel that God may be unkind sometimes. He will punish us, begin to disbelieve in God's mercy, but this is blind disbelief. It is wrong. It is wrong to scan God's actions and begin to put a question mark on his mercy. The way in which God has his own manner of showing his mercy. When time comes, God will himself make all his actions plain and clear. So we must believe in the mercy of God, although the ways in which God perform his actions are mysterious. We cannot comprehend. Uh, we cannot comprehend the way they will take the turn. In the beginning, it may be we may be full of doubt. We may have some problems in our life, but God has His own plans. He will have mercy upon all those who are pure, who are true. So we must have belief in God. We must believe God, and we must not think that God is hard, God is not benevolent because we are in suffering, and uh, we are in a very painful situation. So uh, it is a general or a universal truth that uh, those who have gone through hard times, they will have they will feel or experience what it means to be really happy. तो खुशी आपको तब अनुभव होती है जब आप कई परेशानियों से होकर गुजरते हैं, फिर बाद में आपको वो मिलती है। आपको पैशंस रखना पड़ता है, आपको संघर्ष करना होता है, और अंत में जो आपको मिलता है उससे आपको संतुष्टि मिलती है। ये तो गॉड का तरीका ही यही है। अगर चमकना है तो सोने को भी तपना पड़ता है। सो देर आर paradoxes in life. We must understand how and in what way these paradoxes uh, apply in real life. मिस्टीरियस भले ही हो गॉड, गॉड के तरीके भले ही कितनी कठोर हों, लेकिन जो मर्सी है वो अनक्वेश्चनेबल है। गॉड की ब्लेसिंग हम सबको ज़रूर मिलेगी। वी मस्ट हैव फुल बिलीव इन गॉड। हमें गॉड में पूरा विश्वास होना चाहिए। सो दैट इज़ ऑल अबाउट दिस पोएम, लाइट शाइनिंग आउट ऑफ डार्कनेस। तो डार्कनेस से जैसे लाइट शाइन होती है, वैसे ही गॉड जो है वो हम सब के जीवन में उजाला लेके आएंगे। सो हैव होप, हैव पैशंस, एंड हैव फेथ इन द मर्सी ऑफ गॉड। Thank you for listening me carefully.